Most important things to learn to be a great manager. Now, getting into the trades is a wonderful thing and you can make a great living at it. But there's certain things that if you learn and you learn to do them well, you can make so much money in the trades. And today, that's what we're going to talk about. Now, luckily for me, when I got into the trades, I learned from some great plumbers and I got to watch them, and they definitely led by example. But when I got into the union and I moved up and learned things that I needed to do to move up to become a foreman, a superintendent, even moved all the way up to director of operations, there were certain things that I learned along the way that helped me get to where I needed to be. Now, make sure you stay to the end. I'm going to tell you the number one thing you can put all over a job site to make sure that it's successful. The most important number one thing is mental attitude. You've got to come in a positive mindset each and every day. You've got to understand that you're a leader. You need to step up and help other people, but it takes that mental attitude, that understanding that you are trying to be the very best person, the very best tradesman, the very best leader that you could ever be. And not just that you could ever be, you've got to be better than other people. Because if there are other people that are leading better than you, guess what? Those are the people that are going to get the job offer. Those are the people that are going to get more money. So having that positive mental mindset, that amazing mental attitude each and every day is something that can help separate you apart from everybody else. Now, it's not always easy to do, but developing that positive mindset, that positive mental attitude to come in with each and every day is something that you can work on. And part of this is number two, leadership. How do you lead others? We each want to learn in different ways, but we each need to feel supported. We each need to feel that we're contributing, that we're doing a good thing for the company or the project that we're working on. So understanding how to lead different people and how to train different people and help them learn and grow, that's what's going to help set you apart quicker than anything else. Everybody wants to be a great leader, but most people don't want to step out in front and lead. And you do that by really helping and supporting other people. And that takes me into number three, communication. In order to lead other people, in order to help other people, you've got to be a great communicator. Now, one of my favorite things to talk about when it comes to communication is the fact that we're taught how to read, we're taught how to write, and we're taught how to speak in school. When I say speak, I just mean talk, how to pronounce words clearly. The one thing we're not taught to do is listen. And in order to be a great leader, to be a great manager, you have got to be able to listen to the people that work for you. What is it that motivates them? What is it that they want? What are they looking for? You've got to find out how to make a win-win-win situation. You've got to win, your company has to win, but the employees that you're leading, the employees that you're managing, they need to win also. Number four, and this is one I learned a long time ago, dress to impress. And I'm not saying you have to get super dressed up, but you know what? Tuck your shirt in. And that's hard for me to say because I'm in a position I don't tuck my shirt in anymore. But I do wear a clean, starched shirt every time you see me. I do have on starched jeans. I've normally got on work boots. Now here lately, I've kind of gone to tennis shoes because I'm not out in the field anymore. Number five ties into this, dress for the job that you want. Look at the people that are in the position that you want. What are they wearing? If you're an apprentice in a job and you see other apprentices wearing raggedy t-shirts and holey jeans and things like that, if you don't want to move up, wear what they're wearing. But if you look at the plumbers that they're working with and they're wearing nice jeans, a belt, a tucked in shirt, different things like that, dress to impress the people that you work for. Let them look at you and just see that you take pride in what you do. Dressing for the job you want is a good way to constantly move up because you're constantly looking at the people above you, the people that are doing better than you. And what can you do to step up and move into those positions? I even had one company owner tell me that if people come in and apply for a job at his company and they will put on a suit and tie, he says, I will pay them $2 an extra just because they took the effort to try to impress me. Number six, and this is where I really started doing good, learn the numbers. Now, you've got to constantly know the numbers on your job. And there's a lot of different numbers to know, but one of the most important is the hours being used. What is your weekly usage of hours? Are you using the amount of hours that you should be each and every week? Have you even looked at that? Do you know how to look at that? What are the projections on your job? Because one thing you have to know as a foreman, a superintendent, or anybody in that position, you've got to know the hours on your job each and every day. Number 7, know the numbers that were used to bid the job. If you've got to go back and talk to the estimator, if you've got to go back and talk to whoever put that total price together, ask them, how did you bid this job? What labor factor did you use? How many hours did you bid for the whole job? How many hours did you bid per system? What kind of products did you use? Different things like that. You've got to know hours and numbers and how all that relates to what you have to do each and every day, because you've got to know those numbers. If you don't know what numbers were used to bid the job, you're not going to be any good at the next thing, knowing what labor numbers to use per task. One thing, when I really started getting good at jobs, I would take an area of a building. If I were putting a crew over there to run cast iron, I'd run the labor factors on that area. And then I'd come and tell them when I put them in that area, hey, we've got 86 hours to use to build this out. That's what we bid on it. So if we can beat that, that really does make us look good. But you've got to know the labor hours used for each and every task. Now, as a superintendent, one thing I would do to help me beat those hours is I would get all the materials they would need in place. I'd make sure I had the pipe, the fittings, the hangers, anything that I needed in that area to do that job. I did that because if I can help them beat the labor hours per task, that is going to help me win the labor hours per job. Number 9 is one of the most important things. Build a good culture on the job. You have to make your crews happy. They've got to be in a place where they want to work, where they want to be productive. You want to develop that positive mental attitude for your entire team each and every day. And there's different things that you can do to help you do that. But morning motivational meetings are fantastic. You talk to people about what's expected that day. Where are we at? Where do we need to be by the end of the day? Different things like that can really help your job. So that leads me to number 10, praise the people in public. When you've got people that are doing really well, man, point it out when they're in a group meeting. Say, hey man, you're doing fantastic. I love the way you're getting stuff done. You're beating the hours per task. You're not having a lot of materials left over. Man, you are doing fantastic. That is wonderful. But then that takes me to number 11. You've got to discuss problems in private. So when you've got a problem with somebody, say, hey man, look, I need you to step over to the office, or hey, can we walk around the job? I want to show you something. And walk off and say, hey man, look, is everything going okay? Because normally you get things done a whole lot faster. And here lately, I don't know what's going on, but you're not getting things done in a timely manner. And a lot of times when you call them aside and talk to them like that, they'll tell you what the problem is. And it may be, hey, I'm having problems at home, or hey, my children aren't doing very well, whatever it is. But get out and talk to them and find out what the problem is. That way they know you're aware of it. And maybe there's something you can do to help them. Maybe it's just talking to them. Sometimes that's all people need. Number 12, you've got to stay ahead of your people. Now, if there's problems coming up on a job and you've already looked at it and you've seen it, maybe ductwork's in your way. Maybe the freaking electricians did something wrong again. You've got to look ahead and take care of that. You've got to make sure that by the time your team gets there, they know, hey, we're going to have to offset this pipe. We're going to have to change something. We're going to have to do something different. And number 13, always stay ahead of your team on tools, materials, and equipment. Those are the things that really slow people down. When they go to an area and you're not the kind of superintendent that gets stuff out ahead of them, they go to an area, they start pulling all the materials, then they're like, hey, we don't have all the materials to do this. Now they've already mobilized, they've got into a position, they don't have the things they need to move ahead, and really that's your fault because you should stay ahead of them. There are so many things on the job that you can do, but staying ahead of them to make sure they have everything they need each and every day, that is one of the things that's going to be the best thing you can do as a superintendent. Now, I told you to hang around till the end. One of the things I used to tell people I was training, whether they're becoming foremen, superintendents, whatever it is, the most important thing you can put on a job site is your boot prints. Make sure you're out walking the job site each and every day. Let your people see you. Let them see you in the morning. Let them see you after lunch. Let them see you before the end of the day. Get out on the job site, talk to your people, jump in and give them a hand when you can. By putting your boot prints all over that job site, you let your team know that you're leading them from the front. You're not just sitting in the office, waiting for them to do all the work, waiting for them to tell you what the problems are. I think these are the 13 most important things you can learn and do to become a great manager. If you've been a superintendent, foreman, or anything like that on a job site, do me a favor and leave me a comment down below and let me know, what do you think? Is there something that I missed out that you think can benefit more people? If so, I would love to hear from you. And if you love this video, man, I definitely think you're going to like that one.